Well, hello everyone. I'm going to do this video today to hopefully help somebody out that may run into the same issue I did. So if you pull the dipstick on your engine, this is a 115 horsepower Mercury Outboard electric fuel injection built in 2006. And so anyways, if you go out here and you pull your dipstick for your oil and you smell gasoline in there, or heck, even gasoline pours out like mine did, there's really, I assume there's a couple ways you can get gas in your oil, in your crankcase oil. But if you've got a lot of it and it's just smelling like gas, it's horrible, you might want to come back here and pull your fuel pump and test it. It could be pumping fine, but basically there's it's hard to see here a little bit, sun's shining pretty bright. There is a diaphragm in between this plastic block and this metal block that is the pump. So what happens is when the engine's running, you've got a part of your engine, I don't know what it's called, anyways, it's coming in here and it's tapping on this, and this goes in and out as it's going, which then makes this diaphragm flutter, I guess you could say, and it plunges and pulls fuel out of the gas tank up into your high pressure system, where it goes into your vapor separator, whatever they call that other stuff. Anyway, so you have a fuel pump, inside of your vapor separator on these engines, and that's your high pressure fuel pump. But this is mainly your fuel pump that just does kind of like a lift pump. It pulls it out of your gas tank and puts it into the chamber so that the high pressure fuel pump can pressurize the injectors. But anyway, so I pulled the dipstick out and gasoline saturated oil was pouring out. The reason I started looking into this is because we were on the lake and the engine stalled and couldn't get it cranked up again. It was running great, and then all of a sudden it stalls out and I can't get it to run again. Fires up maybe for a few seconds and then stalls back out again. So we had to get rescued and pulled in and get home, start going through all kinds of stuff, and then again, that's what I found was the fuel in there. And you can see, let me see if I can hold the camera in a good way. All I got to do is pump the bulb to start pushing fuel through, and you see that fuel. That doesn't supposed to happen. So basically, that plunger is a seal itself, and it's supposed to separate the gas and keep all of the fuel inside of this section of the fuel pump. This section here is just to activate the fuel pump using your engine crankcase as it turns. No gasoline should be coming out this side. And again, so here's where it connects to your engine, and there's just a simple rubber gasket that goes around the end of this. It seats up here, and then you press it against the crankcase there. That's job is just to keep the oil from coming out of your crankcase and pouring inside of your engine housing or whatever this is. So that's not there to keep the gas from going in. The gas is specifically this plunger. Well, I pulled this apart to find out that the rubber, it's a cloth with a rubber coating for the plunger, and I guess that keeps it, nice and elastic. But anyways, I pulled this black backing off here, and the rubber is peeling off of that fuel pump and allowing fuel to soak through the plunger, which is again why just pushing on the bulb makes fuel come out this side. So anyways, if you specifically, this is fuel in your crankcase oil. So like I said, if you pull that dipstick and you smell a really heavy odor, you're not going to get a creamy white oil. Creamy white oil, because that's water in your oil. This is going to be a very diluted, very thin oil with a really heavy gas smell, because it basically, you're just pouring in gas into your oil and diluting it. Anyways, I'm going to get this thing done and I'm going to fire it up so that way, and I'll put that in the video so you can see how it's running after I put the new fuel pump and change the oil. So, but I did a search online. I had a really hard time finding anything about this. couple forums I found were talking about fuel pumps going out and doing this, so that's where I started digging. All right, so here's the replacement fuel pump I bought, and if you notice, there's a difference. This one's branded, made in Japan, probably a pretty quality fuel pump. To get the actual OEM Mercury fuel pump, it's about $400 for this part of the fuel pump and the plunger part of the fuel pump together. $400. The other problem is it's going to take me weeks to get it. So this is the week before Christmas. Looks like January time frame, sometime around there to get it. And we're off. We're on holiday, and the kids want to go fishing, do things like that. So I figured, you know what? I got this for $35. This is a aftermarket fuel pump, and you know, supposedly functions the same. And personally, I don't like these cheap, you know, aftermarket knockoffs, but I'm kind of in a dire straits here. At least I consider it, because I can't wait that long for the other one. So I bought this one, and I'm actually going to use all the working parts from my OEM one that's good, but I'm just going to use this back plunger piece from this aftermarket one, which is about, like I said, less than 10% of the price. And I'm going to see how well it works, you know, and I'll put that out there too, if I have problems with this aftermarket fuel pump. After seeing this fail, I'm going to be checking my oil, and you know, if this holds up, you know, or seems to be close in quality, I mean, because all of this stuff goes to China to be built probably anyway, but I'm probably just going to replace it every year so I don't run into something like that again. But if I feel that this isn't going to hold up very well, then I'm just going to go and order the $400 pump and use this one until the OEM one comes in. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this one apart and get it put together so I can put it on. All right, so here's the two plunger pieces. The one to the right is the OEM one. Let me see if I can get into some sunlight here so you can kind of see. And so if you can see the one on the right, you can see where the rubber kind of came off the material. If you look close, you can see how it just started peeling up. Luckily, they have another fuel filter in line after this fuel pump, because all of that garbage there went into that fuel filter. And I'm really hoping was what was starving the engine instead of the engine just failing on me. So that one's the OEM one, the one on the right. And this one's the aftermarket one here, the one on the left. They look pretty close. Really what's going to matter is how well that rubber plunger holds up. So I'm going to go ahead, like I said, and put this one on with the rest of the already OEM fuel pump, and then I'm going to get the oil fixed up and everything and try to fire it up. All right, so I got the new backing on. Like I said, I just put on this part, this black housing on the back. So a couple things. One, there's a rubber tab here. Make sure that rubber tab lines up with these lines. All of these have to line up. And their indentions and grooves are here for a reason. The other thing is there is a rubber O-ring that goes here that seals against the crankcase. Sorry, here it is. This didn't come with the pump when I got it. Make sure you still have the one you have and that it's in good shape, because that's going to keep the oil from leaking out of the back of your crankcase when this is running. Then what I did is I pumped the bulb on the gas tank to pressurize the fuel coming into the fuel pump. And unlike the other one that just dripped fuel out the back of it when I did that, this one is nice and tight. Bulb won't even pump anymore, and no fuel is coming anywhere out of this. So far so good. I'm hoping this works out. I'm gonna put it together and fire it up. All right, everyone, so here we go. So I put the fuel pump, of course, back on, and since there was fuel in the oil, of course I had drained the oil all out, let it sit overnight, seeping the oil out, tilted the motor in every position I could think of to try to get as much oil out, and then refilled the oil. It takes 5 liters, and it seems to be running good. I was really worried that maybe that fuel in there could have, you know, messed it up, burned up the motor, but you know, hopefully we caught it early enough to not do any damage, and she's purring just great. I've let her run for about 10 minutes now, yeah, my wife's gonna kill me about the driveway getting oil all in it, but I'm just gonna have to pressure wash the heck out of it, I guess. But yeah, this engine's purring nicely, and I think that that's gonna fix it. Of course, I'm letting it run right now. I'm gonna check the oil in a minute, make sure there's no fuel in the oil, so that the oil still looks nice and clean. And then probably gonna run her about a week, maybe a couple times on the lake, and then I'm gonna do another fresh oil change on it, so that any residual fuel that would be in there will come out. Plus, you know, it needs a new oil filter now and so forth. So, but anyways, this was just to show y'all the end result, and doing great, idling fine. So again, hopefully this video helps someone. You know, if you like the video, or if the video helped, you know, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out. And click the little bell. What else do they want you to do? Oh, like the video, comment below if it helps you, questions, anything, you know, let me know. And thanks everyone for watching. Y'all take care.